All right, folks, I want to talk to you real quick about A9 and how to get the data off of your GPS unit. First thing you're going to do is plug the GPS into your computer using the USB cable that you got in your kit. Then it should recognize it on your computer and it will come up as this Garmin eTrex 30X. Sometimes it'll take a minute to recognize it. Just be patient. So if you open it up, the instructions tell you to go in and use this current.gpx file, which indeed is important. And I'm going to copy it and I am going to paste it into a new folder on my desktop. I'm going to call that folder A9. And I'm going to paste it here. Here's something that trips people up though. Let's go up in our Garmin folders. So in this GPX folder, there is also a folder called Archive. And if you go into it, you can see that there is a whole bunch of folders from that time period when I was taking data on my position. So I'm also going to copy those and paste those into my folder. Okay, so that's all of our data. I can go and close this out and we are totally good. I'm going to even eject it. Yeah, I don't think it cares. I'll unplug it. Cool. Now, what we need to do is combine all of these into one Excel file. Thing is, it's currently a GPX file, and if you open it, Windows will freak out. So what we're going to do is open up Excel. This is how I like to do it anyway. My Excel gets a little upset about some add-ins that I have. I am going to hit open. I'm going to go browse. And I'm going to go to my desktop, which is where I put that file. And I'm going to go in there. It's not going to show up because it's showing all Excel files. I'm going to click here and go to all files. Voila. There's our files. So I'm going to open that. And it's going to give me an error message. I say, yes, I do want to open it anyway. It might be a virus, but it's my virus. I'm going to open it as a read-only workbook for now. It's going to take a minute. Great, this is exactly what we want. Now, what we really care about is basically our latitude and longitude and also our time folder, but that's not really what we need to deal with yet, because first we have to combine everything. So what I'm going to do is hit File, Open, and then I'm going to hit Browse. Takes me to that folder, and I'm going to get let's see here, the second most recent data. I'm going to open that, and I still have to go through the same error messages before it opens it. So I'm going to scroll down to the bitty bottom of this data. I'm going to select that. I'm going to go all the way back up to the top. I'm going to hold down the Shift button on my keyboard and then click this to select everything. I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to go into that current spreadsheet and I'm going to insert my copied cells. So now we've got 2 files worth of data in here. And this should all be, well, it looks like we did have a minor issue where right about here, things didn't transfer over as well as I wanted. That's okay. We can fix this. I'm going to hit Control Z. That undoes my paste. And I'm going to double check to make sure that this is happy. Great. We're going to do this a different way. Because I have to change the format of the data, I am just going to move this in. So I'm going to go back to that originally copied spreadsheet. I'm going to move or copy. I'm going to choose that current spreadsheet. I'm going to move it before sheet current. Hit OK. Great. So what this does is basically makes it so that I can choose only the data that I want to bring over. So I'm going to delete all these columns. And I'm going to delete both of these columns. So this leaves me with latitude, longitude, and time. I'm going to go to the current named tab. I'm just deleting this row at the top because we don't need it and it could potentially confuse ArcGIS. Again, I'm deleting all of that data. Now, mind you, this isn't the data that's on the GPS unit, so you still have backups if things go horribly wrong. It's always good to have a backup. So now I've got both of these are in the same format. That's what I want. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to click either the bottom cell or the bottom row here of our data all the way back up to the top. I'm going to hold down Shift to select that big batch of data. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to insert those copied cells again. And this time it should work. I'm going to know because this is February 28th on the date. And our other one should be in a later date. 29, March 1st. Great. So I've got data from 4 days already on this sheet. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this old sheet. You can wait until the end to do that if you want, doesn't matter. I'm going to go open, browse, and I'm going to do this whole thing again with the next most recent autosave file. And I'm going to keep doing this, opening the sheet, deleting what I don't want, and then pasting it into the other one until I've got my 14 days of data that I need. So I'm just going to go through this one more time. And you guys can do all of this combining data on your own. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Oh, maybe I'll show it one more time after this, because I suppose I've been doing it a couple different ways. So I've copied my cells that I'm interested in. I'm going into the current folder. I'm going to insert those copied cells. Now I can say I've got the 26th and the 27th, 28th, 29th. Okay, this is still happy. And now I can go and just close that other spreadsheet. Don't care to save it. Don't care to save that stuff to my clipboard. And it's just kind of grinding through some data. Show you on one last one. I open up the GPX file, tell it I do want to open it. I want to open it as a read-only workbook. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that I don't want. So that's everything but latitude, longitude, and time. Then I'm going to select all of the data that I do want. I'm going to copy it, which I do by holding down the Control button and pushing the C button on my keyboard. I go into that current spreadsheet. I'm going to insert those copied cells and double check to make sure that everything is happy. So I've got February 22nd, and then it goes straight into the 26th, it looks like. Yeah, and this is going to be a really big spreadsheet by the time you're done. So it might behoove you to save it periodically. So I'm going to hit Save As. It's in this A9 folder, and I'm going to call it Gen points. Great. So I'm going to stop my recording for a minute while I add a whole bunch more data to this file. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing next. Okay, all of my data is now in this one massive spreadsheet. First thing I'm going to do is save it. Now, let's go ahead and format this for Excel and for how we're going to analyze the data. So first, I'm going to do our latitude, longitude column so that there's no weird symbols that ArcGIS Pro will get upset about. This is Greenwich Mean Time in this column. So we're actually going to want another column that we will make called time date. And in order to do this, you're going to have to type in a formula. So first you're going to do equals, and then you're going to select that first cell of the Greenwich Mean Time. And then you're going to do minus time, parentheses, 8, 0, 0. And what this does is converts it to Western time, Pacific time, because we're 8 hours off of Greenwich time. So there it is. Now I could type this for every single one on the list, which is so long that Excel won't load it all. Or I can double click that little button in the bottom right corner. Isn't that a nice thing to have? So let's look real quick. Okay, I see everything all the way down to March 1st, which is 22,000 records down. That looks good. So this is ready to import into ArcGIS Pro. I'm going to save it one more time. It is important to go ahead and take a screenshot at this point and send it to me. That's underlined at the end of step 5. So I am going to go ahead and close the file. And now we can do the ArcGIS Pro part. So I'm going to open up ArcGIS Pro, and I'll show you how to import all of this. I don't think I need to show you how to create a new map or some of the other things that we need to do. I'll do it. Hit start with that template. Well, I need a new map. So first things first, we need to add our folder to the project. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to hit Add Folder. And I want to go to, excuse me, to the desktop. Excuse me. And I'm going to select but not open that A9 folder. I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to go to the catalog pane. I'm going to open up folders. I'm going to open up A9 and I see Jen's points.xlsx. That's what I want. And I believe I want this one right here. And I'm going to do add to current map. And this might take a minute. There we go. There's the current. And I am going to do display XY data right here. So our X field is longitude and our Y field is latitude. That's correct. And I don't want a Z field, that's our elevation. And we should be WGS 1984. Hit OK. And it's going to sit and give me some points. Yay! This shows all the places I went while I was carrying this GPS unit. And you can see it stretched just like that assignment up in the oil sands with the wolves and the elk, because we're not projected at all. So this is great. Now we are on step 8. Open the attribute table. Look at that. Great. Got those 22,000 records down here. Excellent. I've got all of the fields that I want. I'm going to go ahead and save my project right now. And I'm going to go ahead and save it in the A9 folder. And I'm going to call it E9 example. Save. Save early, save often. Okie dokie. So I've got our points. And next thing we're going to do is change our map coordinate system. This is step 9. And so I'm going to go into properties. And I am going to go into coordinate systems. And this calls for NAD 1983 UTM zone 10 north, which is a reasonable one to use for here. You can go in and find it under the projected coordinate systems, or you can type in NAD 1983 UTM zone 10 north and hit enter. And then usually this will just open up for me. I think I flew too close to the sun here. I'll take off the north and see if it likes that. No, it's just upset. Well, I guess we'll do it the slow way. So I'm going to go UTM. And then I want NAD 1983. And then I'm going to scroll down to UTM zone 10 north. I'm going to hit OK. Oh, it looks so much better up there on the map. Whew. Didn't realize that was bothering me. Okie dokie. And then, oh, we need to go and change one more setting. We're going to go to the General tab and choose to display meters at the bottom of the map. There we go. Okie dokie. That's just changing this little display thing here. It's not a big deal. That's more of just a preference thing. Next thing we're going to do is project everything. Actually, the next thing we're going to do is save everything. Now we're going to go into geoprocessing. We're going to project. And so our input data set is that table to point, and our output data set is going to be gen points. And our output coordinate system is going to be the same as the map. Keep it with the automatic transformation and hit run. Great. Now I'm going to remove this original point layer. That just looks groovy. I'm going to go ahead and go to my map, and I'm going to save this as a bookmark. I'm going to call it Overview. Great. So that is step 11. Now we're going to do step 12. I'm going to search for optimized hotspot analysis. That's us in spatial statistics. I'm going to save real quick before we run this. So our input features is going to be gen points. And I'm going to make the output feature a little bit short. I'm going to call it gen points HS. All right. And everything else should be good how it is. I'm going to hit run. And this might or might not take a while. It just depends. There we go. All right, let's turn this off so we can see it. Oh, there's our hotspot analysis. So you can see that, yes, okay, I did go out to the Olympic Peninsula. And yes, I did go up to Baker Lake. And I've been at points between. But where I really spend a lot of my time is Mount Vernon and apparently Big Lake. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't think I spent that much time around the Big Rock Cafe in Big Lake, but I suppose that's kind of an intersection of a lot of the paths that I take. That kind of makes sense. So that was step 14 and step 15 done. Step 16 is inserting a new layout and making that nice map that you're going to present to me. And I'm going to let you do that on your own. If you run into trouble, let me know or show up to one of the lab sessions and we'll do what we can. All right. Good luck, folks. And I look forward to seeing your presentations.